Welcome, Chris from Eboost here. Today, we're talking about the wave of CCPA enforcement actions California has brought over the past few months and why the answer to should marketers own CCPA compliance is now a yes. 3 actions alone produced more than 4.2 million in fines so far. Another action against a youth sports media company added more than $1 million on top of that. Streaming services, auto manufacturers, youth-focused platforms all hit. And even a single failure cited by regulators happened inside a marketing stack, not the legal department. In this episode, I'll walk through 3 things that have changed about who owns privacy compliance and what mid-market leaders need to do about it. I just want to state that I'm not a legal advisor, so anything in regards to the law, please consult your legal advisor. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, let's start with the biggest finding from the recent enforcement wave. A major streaming service offered consumers all the right opt-out mechanism, website toggles, in-app settings, web forms. They even honored global privacy control signals, and the mechanisms existed. They just weren't integrated. A consumer who opted out in one place still had their data sold and shared through other services, and the devices linked to the same account. The opt-out didn't propagate. And here's a principle Cal Privacy laid down. If you have enough data to link a consumer's device identified for advertising, whether it's personally identified or pseudonymized, you have to link those same devices for opt-out propagation. That's not a legal capability. That's a CDP, Consumer Data Platform, CMP, Identity Resolution, and AdOps engineering problem. The same infrastructure that powers your retargeting program now creates an obligation to suppress that retargeting when the users opt out anywhere in your ecosystem. If your stack can demonstrate single request opt-out propagation across loyalty mobile, point of sales, and connected devices today, that's a marketing operation exposure point. So second shift, the vendor and technical limitations defense is dead. Multiple companies in a recent wave argued that consumer data kept following to their ad tech partners after opt-outs because the vendors couldn't operationally support the propagation. Cal Privacy rejected that. Independently verify your CMP, audit vendor contracts, build internal processes that communicate every opt-out to every third party that received the consumer's data. For mid-market marketing leaders, this is the part that's been sitting in plain sight. Your demand-side platform, your audience extension partners, your retargeting networks, your analytics vendors, all those relationships sit inside marketing. Procurement may sign the contract, but marketing operations chooses the partner and configures the integration. When a regulator asks why opt-outs aren't following through to a downstream vendor, the technical answer is yours. The practical move is to graduate vendor audits from periodic procurement reviews into ongoing operational discipline. Test each vendor against synthetic opt-out events, document propagation, trusting vendor marketing collateral about CCPA readiness, exactly the posture that's being penalized right now. Third shift, and this one is uncomfortable for performance marketers. A major auto manufacturer required consumers to verify their identity by clicking an email confirmation link before opt-out requests would be processed. Anyone who didn't complete the step got their request marked expired and unprocessed. Cal Privacy fined them and made the analogy direct. The head of enforcement said unnecessary steps in the opt-out process discourage consumers from exercising privacy rights the same way unnecessary checkout steps discourage purchases. So the youth sports media company case is even more direct. Their consent banner on the mobile converted the part of the screen people needed to redeem their ticket, effectively forcing them to click agree to attend an event their school had an exclusive partnership for. Their only opt-out path was a phone number and an email address that couldn't address tracking-based data sales, over $1 million in fines. Every one of those decisions is a CRO decision, a UX architecture decision, or a vendor configuration decision, made by marketing teams optimizing for completion rates and conversions. The instinct to remove friction from revenue path and add friction to opt-out path is now an enforcement pattern. If you got performance marketers and compliance UX intention inside your org, regulators have already picked the winner. So to recap, CCPA enforcement just migrated from being a legal problem to being a marketing operations problem. Opt-out propagation is a stack failure, not a policy failure. Vendor and ad tech configuration is actionable risk. UX friction and dark patterns are marketing decisions with regulatory consequences. So the marketing leaders who get this right over the next 12 months end up with cleaner data, better attribution, and lower enforcement exposure. The ones who treat this as legal jobs are going to spend more responding to investigations than they would have spent building a real program. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Alright, thank you. See you again.